Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's AJ, and what's been up? So, as you see, I'm out in my car. I'm masked up, running errands currently at the bank, and yeah, there are a bunch of cars in front of me, so it is what it is. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to check in and, see how you guys are doing. And I wanted to kind of give you guys an update on how I've been doing. Mentally, I've been much better. At the beginning of this quarantine, it was like, it's getting real out here. Like, it's really getting real. Because prior to, like, literally right before the stay-at-home orders and the quarantine started, my school, the school that I work at, was getting shut down, and they were going to turn our building into a quarantine headquarters. So, yeah, we were like, okay, we found out 10 o'clock that morning, and we were supposed to have everything out by like 3 p.m. And it's like, we don't get any heads up. What about the babies who aren't here? Because it's a lot going on, and we have such restrictions and requirements now. If they had the sniffles or something, we could not let them in. So we only had like 5 kids in the whole school. It was on a Friday that day. And we were just wondering, like, how are the parents supposed to be getting their things? And how are, like, the kids supposed to transition into the new year? Especially when our building is turning into a quarantine site. Like, where are we going to go? Are our children going to be displaced? Are we as educators going to be displaced? Like, what's going to happen to our jobs, job security? It was just so much going on, but something in me was like, stay calm. So I stayed calm. And what ended up happening, the deal didn't go through. And so it did not turn into a quarantine site. But, as most of you already know, here in Michigan, schools are out for the remainder of the school year. But I am in early Head Start. And early Head Start tends to go year round. So this is where things are up in the air, because we're guaranteed to be financially supported until at least the end of June. But after that, we don't know what's going on. Are we going to have to go to work? This summer, despite, a lot of fears about that, I have been personally affected by coronavirus. I have not had it. I actually got tested last week, and it turned out negative. So I'm so grateful for that. But my mom had it, and it was damn near deadly. Like, she was on her deathbed, like, for real. And I figured something was up. One, I was worried in the first place for people just like her, because she has underlying health issues, and asthma is a real big thing for her. So, that worried me from jump, but I didn't really say anything too much. But, I'm just looking out like, okay, this quarantine is good for, most of us. But let's, it's the fear of the unknown for everybody. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's, placing rules. It's kind of chaotic. People just want to know what's going on. When is everything going to go back to normal? All that stuff. So it was a lot back then. And meanwhile, I'm like, shit, let me get some stocks real quick. So I started investing more heavily in the stock market, which I try to continuously do. And I'm going to continue to do so after, it crashes and comes back up, and through all the highs and lows and everything. This is something I'm planning on doing for the long term, not just to get me through this recession. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a longer term recession, from the research that I've done. But again, it's just me on YouTube. Like, don't listen to my advice. Do your own due diligence. But yes, I have definitely been investing a lot. I've also been looking into commodities, and buying silver, and gold is a little, everybody, because because bonds have crashed, people have been going to gold. And gold has the prices have kind of soared up a little bit. So I'm gonna chill on gold for a minute. I'm gonna stack my silver. But once gold kind of fluctuates and levels out, I'm gonna start getting gold again as well, because that's a good hedge against anything that might happen with our dollar. Because what I'm feeling, granted, this government help is amazing, these stimulus checks and packages and all this stuff, yes, it's amazing for keeping the economy afloat at this moment. But when all of this stops, we're gonna see what the real damage of the coronavirus was. And I don't think it's going to be pretty. Personally, I don't think it's going to be pretty at all. So I want to make sure that, and then all this money that they're printing as well, despite other nations doing the same thing, it can still deflate the value of our dollar. So I want to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row, and have an expansive and varied portfolio, so that my family and I are safe throughout this financially safe and secure throughout this whole process. So that's what I've been trying to do, just do research on how to scale and make sure that, our funds are secured, our bills and rent and, all that is secured. Looking at different assets that I could purchase during this time and in the near future. So yeah, I've just been kind of focusing on that and focusing on my health. With the whole thing going on with my mom, I recorded a video for here some weeks ago, but it was like 2 days before she ended up going into the hospital and getting admitted. And it was just like, I stopped the video like, listen, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not feeling this. Like, my mama's sick, it's a lot going on, and I'm just not here. So I didn't upload it. Because, well, actually I attempted to, and then it was an error, and then I didn't try to re-upload it, because I was like, God in the universe telling me, like, chill, don't worry about it. So, we're all going through a life crisis. It's a global pandemic. Some places are harder hit than others. Michigan is starting to flatten the curve, thankfully, finally. People still aren't listening per se, and y'all see the protests and everything, but it is what it is. The best we can do is control ourselves and make sure that we're protected. I got this mask from our friend Destiny, and I really love it. It's nice. It covers my nose and my face. So shouts out to Destiny. And then if I want to add a little layer of protection, I keep Kleenex in my car. And so I just put the Kleenex in here because I wear lipstick sometimes. And, I got my Lysol spray in my car. I got my cleaning wipes just in case, because this has some alcohol content, so I make sure I do it on my steering wheel. I got air freshener, plant-based air freshener, because I actually got this for free to do a trial and do a review on. MBD, you can find it at Target. It's dope. It smells delicious. This is yuzu and orange flavor, so definitely check it out. MBD at Target. Plant-based product. Yeah, and then of course I got my spray hand sanitizer, my bottle hand sanitizer, and a backup mask in case this one is in the wash. So when I'm out, I make sure that, I'm protected, I'm safe, I'm doing everything I can. I also have a little thing of soap, and I did have some water in here. One to drink, and then one, that was my drinking water. This is my hand water. So pour that out, wash my hands with soap and water, and then of course I got some lotion to moisturize afterwards. But yeah, I'm taking all the precautions that I can as to not attract this. Also, I'm gonna make a video soon about the supplements and the things that I do to make sure my health is in order, because when my mom was sick, I was her caretaker. I was her sole caretaker. So I was the one pulling up to her house and doing drop-offs, going grocery shopping for her, taking care of her, having to take her to the hospital, helping her get up and walk, to brushing her hair, and helping her out as much as I could. So I was in extremely close contact. And then she was in the car with me on the way to the hospital. So I drove her car as to not get the car seat and everything contaminated. But yeah, it was a lot. So I'm gonna go through kind of the things that I've been doing to be in such close contact with someone and to not contract the virus myself. So I think that may help a lot of people. And just as far as supplementation and vitamins and nutrients and the immune system goes, and I think it'll be useful. What else has been going on? This is kind of a wing impromptu video, honestly, because I was in this line and I figured I'd update you guys and check in. Oh, for those of you who don't know, I cut my hair, so I got it in a little struggle bun right now. And it's kind of like twisted and all that stuff, but my hair is significantly shorter. I don't know what was going on with me, but I had I had my sew-in and everything, and when I took it out, my scalp was like damaged. My hair was damaged. My hair was coming out in alarming amounts. So I didn't like that how it thinned out. People still said, people around me still said my hair looked thick or whatever, but it wasn't to my liking, so I just started cutting it. Like, fuck it. It's time for a change. And the universe has been giving me signs that there's a huge change coming, and I didn't know what it is. I didn't know what it was. I don't know if this pandemic is it. I don't know what to expect, but I listened and I cut my hair. So, and it's liberating. It has felt very liberating. Now, trying to come up with styles and all that stuff, yeah, I'm still learning, and I'm happy we're quarantined and staying at home so I can do all my trial and errors, because I'm used to wash and goes, and wash and goes don't work as well on this. So yeah, and it's a little rough and choppy because I did it myself, so the back is a little whatever, but I touch up as I go and snip a little bit more, and if I see anything wrong with it. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. What else has been going on? Naomi, my daughter, is wonderful. She's doing just fine. She's healthy. She's sick of being at home. She misses her friends. That's one thing that really hurts my heart about this quarantine. Obviously, the quarantine is warranted because of the sickness going on, and nobody wants to get sick or put others at risk of getting sick. Especially the kids, the babies, we got to keep them protected at all time. And I'm so grateful that this virus hasn't ravaged through them as much as it has the adults, because it's already a tragedy and a travesty of what's going on now, but it will be absolutely fucking depressing in every way imaginable if children were getting ravaged through like this. So I'm just so grateful. And I know there are different things that are going around, like on the Detroit news, they were talking about kids were having symptoms of inflammation, and their bodies were inflamed, and it could lead to their heart being inflamed, and they think that's how they're metabolizing coronavirus. And I've heard people are having pseudo frostbite in their fingers and toes, and that's like a younger person trait. And some people just may be asymptomatic for the most part, but they'll have the frostbitten fingers and toes, and like maybe a dry cough or something, but no fever, etc., etc. And that's one thing my mom didn't have throughout that whole thing. She didn't have a fever, but she was going through organ failure. She did have viral pneumonia because of it. And then while she was in the hospital, she contracted bacterial pneumonia. So even though after she got discharged, she still had pneumonia, and they had to give her antibiotics after she got discharged because her pneumonia was just lasting way longer than it should have. She's still in quarantine. I'm not necessarily sure if she's over COVID, because are y'all gonna pull up or not? Okay. I'm not for sure if she's quite over it per se, but because most of her sense of taste and smell has come back, but not all of it, and she still does have a cough. So I don't know if she has to be fully recovered for it to be out of her system or what. So, or is she still contagious? Is she not? all that jazz. I don't know. I do know that she was given hydrochloronique, which was the anti-malaria medication, and it was that and the A one. I forgot the name of that one, but they gave it to her in very aggressive treatments. She was getting it via shot in her stomach. She was getting it via IV, and she was getting pill forms. And she got this, I think, 3 times a day. So, yeah, for a few days. I think it was like 3 or 4 days in a row. And then they wanted to see how her body would respond afterwards. She couldn't take her inhaler or any other substance. They didn't have her on a ventilator. They wanted her lungs to work on their own so that they gained strength and didn't get too lazy or reliant on something else. She could breathe, but barely. But they wanted to make sure she, they didn't give out. And they wanted to control all aspects of it and make her body work hard. She was very scared when I saw her the night that, because she didn't want to go to the hospital for real. And I was kind of on her side for a while because she was playing it off really well for her to be as sick as she was. But one night she called me and asked me to help her make some tea because I had dropped off some ginger root and manuka honey and lemons, etc., etc. And she was like, she wants to get some tea, but she can't make it to the kitchen. And I'm like, and she sounded really bad. And I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. And I got there in like 15 minutes. And seeing her going in that room, I felt death near me. Like, for those of you who are very sensitive to energies, you don't have to be clairvoyant or anything like that. But for those of you who are very sensitive to energies and energy fields and things of that nature, I felt almost like a darkness. Like, I don't know how to explain it for real. But death, it felt like the Grim Reaper was like sitting in a corner somewhere just watching, like, any minute now. And I'm like, no, we got to get you to the hospital tonight. Like, and she's like, what about the morning? No, tonight. So, we got her ready. Well, yeah. We got ready and got her out the door, got her to the hospital. And Beaumont Grosse Pointe treated my mother so well. They saved her life, and I am indebted to them. Just like Beaumont Royal Oak has saved my daughter's life, and I am indebted to them. The Beaumont healthcare system is amazing to me. And oh, buddy, when I make it, I'm putting in some funds in that system, okay? They are getting some hella donations from me and my family. So, but yeah, and I'm also, before I started talking about all this, I had to make sure that I was okay with it because I couldn't speak about it without breaking down. So, and throughout all this, it was like I was numb for the most part. And because I had to essentially be her power of attorney. So I'm handling business for her and talking to people and updating family and friends and, running errands and all this stuff. And then coming home to my own life and trying to handle business and do the same things for me. And then take care of a 2-year-old and try homeschool. And, obviously her dad has been just absolutely amazing throughout this whole process. And then it was a few times where I thought I was sick with it. And then I just recently, well, I'm not gonna say just recently, because throughout this whole thing I've been having really bad migraines. It starts at the base of my neck, and it kind of just gravitates to the front. And at first I didn't realize it was migraines, because I don't experience migraines, so it kind of threw me off. But yeah, it was just like, what is this? So now I still don't know what it is. It could be the autoimmune issue that I have going on, which I still haven't figured out. I had an appointment that was like April 22nd or April 24th, something around there, but it got canceled because of the coronavirus. And it's like I had to go see a rheumatologist, and that's like a non-essential type of ordeal. So non-essential, because I've been having joint pain still, and it's been kind of I've also, as you can see, gained some weight back. I've been stress eating, stress snacking, all that jazz. But I'm getting back to it. This migraine stuff has given me an extreme brain fog that I do not like at all. So I am really prioritizing getting rid of that, because I need to focus on the things that I need to focus on. It's hard for me to study. Unfortunately, I completely forgot I was in school. And I failed the one class that I was in, which I was acing while we were actually going to the class physically. But when my mom got sick, everything, just nothing mattered anymore. So, I'm going to have to write the school, because I know they're probably going to put me on a probationary period because of it. But I thought about signing up for summer classes, but it's not the time. It's not the time. I'll wait till fall and try again. I have other things that I need to prioritize at this moment. So, yeah, I definitely want to stay up on the YouTube videos. Right now, I'm clearing out the space. We're redecorating the house, getting rid of a whole bunch of junk, and, reorganizing and getting rid of the clutter, and, trying to free up space, because we want to make sure our environment that we've been in is conducive to our peace, our mental peace and mental clarity, and it's a good working environment and a good sleeping and harmonious environment. I've gotten a water fountain for the bedroom with meditation music. Like, I'm really on my Zen stuff, because this is a stressful time. It could be a high anxiety, high stressful time, and being stuck in a house with the same people all day, every day, with no escape for real, that can be stressful as well. So I know Yomi is stressed, and it breaks my heart that she misses her friends and misses her play group and people her age that can really resonate with her, because I'm not always in the mood to play. Her dad's not always in the mood to play. And then it's like, we're not too. We can try. Oh, she's still, we still give her a fun time, but we're not too. We're not in that age range in all reality, and we don't have that imaginative mind that she has, So it breaks my heart. And to see, like, the 4-year-olds who are transitioning to kindergarten next year, the lack of closure that everyone is getting in this school year is like, it's so heartbreaking, because it's like, you wanted to finish out that whole situation. Like, there's still lessons you needed to learn. There's still, habits you needed to learn. You still wanted to say goodbye to your teachers. And, it was a lot going on, especially like seniors of this year. Y'all didn't get a prom. Do you know how much money some of these people spent already on prom before it happened? Like, so to hear that and to be like, damn, I got this, I got that. Like, people cash out for that stuff. Graduation parties, people didn't reserve places and halls and all this stuff, and now you just gotta go off to college if you're going at this point. Or I don't know how the dorms are, for the fall, or how they're planning for this stuff, or when people are leaving. And it's a lot of unknowns. It's a lot of unknowns, and it can be very scary. And psychologically, it could lead to a lot of issues with lack of closure. So that really, it's sad. It's sad on all aspects, and we all have issues that we're going through. So it's just a matter of, how are we coping with it, and what's the mindset? Can we be grateful? Can we practice gratitude? And I've really been, some of these days I've been struggling to think of 5 things that I'm grateful for, because my brain fog, and I've been really, well, I'm not going to say struggling to think of 5 things, but struggling to do the exercise in the first place. Because it's just like, I'm tired. My head hurts. I'm over it. But I have to force myself to do it. And sometimes I do 10 or 20 things, and I can break it up throughout the day, because I need to remember just how grateful I am to be alive, to have those who love me, to love other people, to have a mother who has recuperated from her deathbed from such a deadly virus that's been wiping out people in the masses, and for her to be able to talk to her every day, and to really appreciate her for who she is, and to have family, friends, and loved ones, and to have a roof over my head, and still be able to pay rent and bills and all this stuff, like, and still have food on the table, and cook dinner every day, and all of this stuff, like all of it. So it has been an eye-opening experience for me personally, to see my mother transition her whole state of being and mind and have such gratitude and live her life the way she's living it. It's beautiful to see. And unfortunately it had to be in this manner, but I'm happy to see the end result from her change. And I'm working on me and working on our family and our family stability and love and life and happiness. And that's all I can say right now. So yeah, I'm next up in this bank line. I just kind of wanted to give y'all an update and touch bases while I had some of the time, and while we're redecorating and I don't have my space set up. It looked tacky anyway, but yeah, so I'm redoing my space, my YouTube space. And yeah, I just, please check in with me. Comment down below if you watch this and tell me how you've been doing. DM me on social media. You can find me Miss Poetic08, MIZZPOETIC 08 on all social media platforms. If you try to add me on Facebook, please send me a message first, because I don't add people I don't know for real, or who I don't talk to for real. So it'll be better seeing me on Instagram for real, or even Twitter. So yeah, just reach out, comment below, and that's easier. Or you can email me. What is it? Ajstepsofalchemy@gmail.com. So yeah, you can email me, you can comment down below, whatever the case may be. I just want everybody to check in. And if you guys have coping mechanisms that have worked for you, I've still been doing meditation, so that helped. But any coping mechanisms, let me know. Let's talk about it. I will make another video soon about the supplements I've been taking and the immune boosting things that I've been doing. I will, if that's something you guys want to hear, my mom's full story about it, me recounting everything that she has told me. I would get her to give me quotes and all that stuff, and then signs, symptoms, etc. I can, I got a few videos planned up. And as far as the children, I want to make a video about that, things that we've been doing at home as well. Little exercises and stuff like that, and food and cooking. This whole time we've been at home, most of us haven't been eating out for real. So recipes, anything, like, let's talk about whatever, vent, kick back, whatever. Next thing you know, maybe we can set up a Zoom conference, who knows. But if y'all ain't burned out from Zoom, kind of like me, but it's a good platform. So yeah, it's been real, y'all. Thank you for watching and catching up with me, and I hope all of you guys are well. I hope your families are well, and if they are going through anything, I am praying for them, and I'm sending you love, happiness, and positivity like none other, because this shit not fun, but we have to make the best of what we got. So we can only change what we have control over. So peace, blessings, love to all of y'all. Think of 5 things that you're grateful for, and ciao.